Okay, let's look for statistics. Let's look at our first question. So we have the first question here. I'm going to read. The bar graph shows the number of books sold over a 5-day period. Each book was sold for the same price. A total of $275 was collected after the 5 days. So here we have our bar graph. We have the number of books sold, vertical column, and the horizontal column we have the days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. Let's look at the first question. Calculate the cost at which one book was sold at. Right? So we need to find the cost for one book, just for one book. Right? So let's look at what we have. Day 1, 8 books were sold. On day 2, 10 books were sold. On day 3, if you look at the bar graph, 15 books were sold. On day 4, 5 books were sold. And on day 5, 12 books were sold. So in total, we add up all of those numbers for each day, and in total, 50 books were sold. Now, if you look back at the question, they gave us the cost price. After selling all the books, a total of $275 were collected. So I have my statement, total cost $275. So if I want to find for one book, I know how much for 50 books, that the 50 books cost $50. So to find for one book, many to one. If you want to find for one and you know for many, you divide. So many to one. So 275 divided by 50, right? And I use a factor of 5 to divide first. So we have 5 into 50, 10, 5 into 275, 55. Now we have 55 over 10. We know that dividing by 10, all we have to do is shift the decimal point one place to the left. So I have $5.50 is the cost for one book. Second question, calculate the mean of books sold over the 5 days. So we want to find the mean. And if you recall in the video before, we said that mean is equal to the total divided by the number of data sets. So we want to find the mean of the book. So how many books did we get in total? 50 books. We got 50 books in total. And the number, they want to find the mean over the days. So how many days in total? 5. So it's 50 divided by 5. We get 10 books. So the average and the mean number of books sold over the 5 days were 10 books, okay? So let's move on to question 2 on our statistics. So question 2. We have the incomplete bar graph shows the number of points gained by Vash over 5 days. So we have, let's look at our bar graph. We have number of points scored. We have each game. We have game 1, 12, game 2, 2 points, game 3, 9 points, game 4 we have 4 points, and game 5 we don't have the number of points. So let's move on to the question. 1/3 of the total points for the 5 games was scored in game 1. Complete the bar graph to represent the points gained in game 5. So now I didn't have space to work out this question, so I did it on paper, right? So they said 1/3 of the total is equal to game 1. And from the bar graph, the points for game 1 were 12, right? So 1/3 of the total number of points is equal to game 1. So 1/3 of the total is equal to 12. Game 1 is 12. In order to find the total, and we know this from practice in class, we want to find the total, and we only know a fractional part. We only know 1/3 of the total. So to find the total, we take the number and divide it by the fraction. And we know that division of fraction, we change the division sign to multiplication and we flip the fraction, right? And we get 36. So therefore, the total points, sorry about that there, the total points is 36, right? Now we are trying to find, remember we are trying to find to complete the bar graph for game 5. We're trying to complete the paragraph for game 5. So far what we know is the total points were 36. So to find for game 5, we know for game 1 to 4, we know the value. So we find the total. So game 1 was 12, game 2 was 2 points, game 3, 9 points was gained, and game 4, 4 points. So in total, that's a total of 27 points from game 1 to game 4. That's 27 points in total. Now for game 5, so to find for game 5, we know that the total from game 1 to game 5 is 36. and from game 1 to 4 is 27. So to find for game 5, we just take 36 minus 27, which is 9 points. Right, and let's look at our next question, which is on the same bar graph here. What is the modal point gain in the 5 games? So the modal point will be the most common point gain. And if we look at our bar graph, and I'm going to get my pencil to input game 5 because we just work out the data for game 5, which is going up to 9. Which number you seen occurring most frequently? Game 1 is 12, right? Game 2 is 2. Game 3 is 9. Game 4 is 4, while game 5 is 9. Which number you seen occurring most frequently? We're seeing that number 9. So the modal point is 9 because it was gained twice, okay? Moving on to question 3 in our statistics. The table below shows the marks obtained by pupils in a spelling test. The test is out of 5 marks. So we have our marks. So you could score 0, and the number of people who scored 0 was 1. You can score a mark of 1, and the number of students who scored 1. Number of pupils scored 1 is 1 student. Marks of 2, 6. 3 mark, if you score 3 mark, that was 3 people. 4 marks, 7 people. 5 mark, 2 people, right? So the total number of pupils are here, and that's 20. So I took 1, add 6, add 3, add 7, add 2, right? So the first part of the question wanted to determine what was the modal mark obtained. So the modal mark obtained, it will be the most obtained or the frequently obtained mark. So if you look, 7 students got a mark of 4, right? So therefore our modal mark is 7, right? Our modal mark is 4, sorry. Our modal mark is 4. Our modal mark is 4 because 7 people scored that mark, right? Next part. What percentage of the total people scored below 3, right? So we need to find the number of students in a percentage form that scored below 3. Before I told you, the total pupils we calculate with 20, 1 plus 1 plus 6 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2. Now, those who scored below 3, that's this category here, they scored below 3. So they are 6, that will be in total 6 plus 1, which is 8 pupils. And we want to find this in a percentage. So 8 out of the total of 20 scored below 3 marks. And if you have to change that to percentage, so we have 8 out of 20, which is our fraction. I reduced it. 8 out of 20, and I reduced it, and I get 4. 8 out of 20, and I reduced the fraction, and I cancel, and I got 40%. So 8 out of 20 changed our percentage is 40%. So 40% of the students scored below 3%. Okay? Right? Question number 4. So question number 4 reads, the incomplete pictograph below shows the number of plums 4 vendors sold over 5 days, right? So we have the vendors. We have Brian, we have Alex, Sue, Kim. And pay attention here. We have a key. 1 symbol represents 2 plums, okay? 1 symbol represents 2 plums. So let's look at the question here. The number of plums shown on the incomplete pictograph represents 2/3 of the total number of plums sold by the vendors. Complete the pictograph to show the number of plums sold by Alex, right? So we don't know Alex's value, and we have to determine that. So far we have the 3 vendors, Brian, Sue, and Kim in total, right? So how many, between Brian, Sue, and Kim, that's how many symbols, or how many plums is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9, and remember, each plum represents 2. So we have 9 multiplied by 2, which is 18. So for the 3 vendors, that is 2/3 of the total, which is equal to 18. So we can find the total, right? So we can find the total. So to find the total, we multiply by the reciprocal. So if we flip 2/3, which I did, I got 3/2, multiply by 18, and the total number of plums in total for the 4 vendors is 27 plums, right? Now to find for Alex, he's the last vendor, is remaining. I just have to subtract the total 27 from 18 and 9 plums, right? And we have to complete the pictograph now. We are not finished there. We have to finish the pictograph. We know that 1 plum represents, well, one diagram or one symbol is representing 2. So we have 9 plums in total. We need to know how much to draw. So we have 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. So we have to draw 4 plums. Each one represents 2. So we have to draw 4 plums. Each one represents 2.5, because a half of 2 is 1, and that will give us our 9. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, so we're moving on to the next question. Okay, so the pictograph below represents the number of apples shown by Leon over 5 days. So we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Look at your key. Your key is very important. So you have the key, one symbol represents 10 apples, right? First question, calculate the mean number of apples sold over the 5-day period, right? So how many, what I did is, okay, we want to find the mean. Remember, the formula for mean is total over the number of data sets, right? So in total, how many apples was sold in total? So we count up all our apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, because we have a half and a half, which will give us 17. So we have 17. We have 17 apples there, but remember, 1 apple is really representative of 10. So in total, we have 17 multiplied by 10, which is 170, right? And we want to find the mean over the 5-day period, right? So we want to find the mean over the 5-day period. So we have 170. The total number of apples divided by 5, which we get 34. So our mean is 34 apples. Next question. On which day was the apple sales 10% more than the total sales for Wednesday and Thursday? So we want to find which day apples were sold 10% than the total of Wednesday and Thursday. We need to find the total of Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday, and I label it there. Wednesday is 30 and Thursday is 20. Wednesday is 30 and Thursday. So in total, that's 50. But 10% more of that. So we have to find 10% more than the 50. And remember, percentage is number over 100, right? So we have 10%, which is 10 over 100 multiplied by 50. You do your cancellations. I got 5. So 10% more than 50 is 5 more. So 5 more than 50 is 55. What day was representative of 55? And if you look at Sunday, let's look at Sunday. We have 5, 10, 15. For Sunday, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and a half, 55. So Sunday gives us that 55. So therefore that day, Sunday is 10% more than the total of Wednesday and Thursday. Good? Next question. Third question here. 1 apple was sold for 50 cents. Calculate the total amount of money Leon earned over the 5 days. So we have 1 apple costs 50 cents, and we know that the total number of apples, which we got from question part 1, was 170. So we take 170 multiplied by 50 cents. And remember, 50 cents is a decimal. We have our 0.50 there. So we multiply, and we need 2 decimal places. I got 85, so 2 decimal places, 1, 2. The point goes there. So $85 for the 170 apples. Next question. Okay, the table shows the number of runs a batsman scored in 5 matches. And we have the values there in our table. We have runs, matches, right? So you have match 1, 153, match 2, 60, match 3, 95, match 4, 130, and match 5, we have blank. Okay, Let's read the question. The batsman scored an average of 110 runs, and now they're using the word average. Average means the same thing as mean after the 5 matches, right? Calculate the number of runs the batsman scored in match 5, right? So here, let's look at this question. So we have this time, we don't have to calculate the mean. They give us the mean, and the mean or the average is 110 after 5 matches. So to find, look, I put down my formula there. Average is total over number of data sets. But to find the total, we take the average and we multiply by the number of data sets. So we have an average of 110 multiplied by 5. So in total, we get 150. Right? So we know the total now. We're still trying to work out for match 5. So now that we know the total for the 5 matches, we can work out for match 5. So 5, we add match 1 to 4. When we add that up, we get 440 runs. And to find for match 5, we take 550 minus 440, and we have 110 runs for match 5. Moving on to the next question. The graph below shows the number of pupils present in a class of 20 pupils during one school week. Let's look at our table. All is really information on the table. Vertical column is telling me the number of pupils present, while horizontal column here, we have for Monday, we have the number of students present on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Now, if you look at the question, they ask, what is the average daily absent rate for that week? But if you look at the question, if you look at the bar graph, they are telling us the number of students present, not absent. Okay, so here's where we apply our knowledge. We know that, okay, in the class is a class of 20, right? And let's look at Monday. It's a class of 20. On Monday, there were 14 students present. So if 14 students were present, that means the rest were absent. And to find the rest that were absent, it would be 20, take away 14, which is 6. So that means 6 students were absent. And we do the same. So Tuesday, 20. We know that in total, you're supposed to have 20 students in the class. But on Tuesday, 18 were present. So that means 2 were absent. And we did the same. For Wednesday, 20, take away 15, 5. Thursday, 20, take away 17, 3. And Friday, 20, take away 16, 4. So in total, so here we have the total number of students absent. So the total number of students absent, 6 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4, which is equal to 20. And we want to find the average. Average, remember, average again, total number. So we got a total of 20. And we divide it by how many numbers we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean 4, an average of 4 pupils were absent. Moving on. Right, next question. The incomplete bar graph shows the ages at present of 4 friends in year 2019. Good? So here, bar graph, we have vertical column is telling us ages. We have horizontal column is telling us the friends Scott, Zach, Jude, Mike. Right? First question. Scott was born in 2008. Complete the bar graph to show his age in 2019. So, his birth year is 2008, but currently at that point in this question, they want to find out the age for 2019. So, right, so the present year is 2019, but the birth year is 2008. You just have to subtract, and that gives us 11 years. So the current year is 2019, but his birth year his birthday or birth year is 2008, and we subtract and we got 11 years. So in 2019 is 11 years. Now next question, B. Who is the youngest? So who is the youngest? And if you look at the bar graph, well, for Scott we got 11. So I could put in drawing for 11. Right? So Scott is 11, Zach is 6, Jude is 8, and Mike is 5. So who's the youngest child? Mike, because he's 5 years. Next question. Scott's dad is 25 years older than him. How old is Scott's dad at present? So currently, which we worked out that from part 1, we got that Scott is currently 11 years, but his dad is 25 years older than him. So older than him means what operation is that to add? So we have 11 plus 25, which will give you 36. That was a good question. Yeah, simple. Next question, right? The pictograph shows the number of apples sold over a 5-day period. So we have the days, look at your data. We have the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And for each day, we have the number of apples. If you notice, there's no key here. All right, there's no key. So we don't know if each apple or the symbol or the diagram, I say, the single diagram there is one or represented by 2 or 3. But you will see in this question, you will see a total of 15 apples were sold on Monday. How many more apples were sold on Tuesday than on Monday? So they're telling us that Monday is 15 apples. Like Monday is 15 apples. Are you seeing 15 apples there drawn? No, 15 apples is not drawn there. So that means that one apple is representative of a different numbers. So if I have three symbols there, and these 3 symbols represents a total of 15, to find out what one symbol represents, we take 15 and divide by 3, and that's what I did there. So 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. That means that one of my apples really representing 5 apples, right? Now, I want to find how many more apples were sold on Tuesday than on Monday. So I need to get my Tuesday. I have my Monday value, which is 15. So I need to get my Tuesday value. So Tuesday, if you look at Tuesday is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tuesday is 5 apples. But remember that one of the symbol is really 5. So we have 5 multiplied by 5, which is 25. So Tuesday is 25. And we need to find, so the question says, how many more apples were sold on Tuesday than on Monday? So there's a difference. Tuesday sold more than on Monday, so the difference is 25 minus 15, which is 10. So 10 apples were sold more on Tuesday than on Monday. Next question. What fraction of the total apples was sold on Friday, right? So Friday, if you look at Friday, let's look to Friday. Let's look at Friday. So Friday, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's 4 multiplied by, so that's 4 multiplied by 5, which is 20. And that's 20 apples on Friday. So Friday is 20 apples, right? So I put in my data. 20 is Friday. Friday is 20 apples. And we look at the question again. What fraction of the total apples was sold on Friday? So Friday is 20, right? I'm just seeing a little, put out percentages too. Right, so Friday is 20 apples. And how many apples were sold in total, in entirety, from Monday to Friday? So let's look. How many apples we have in total are you visually seeing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 apples in total, so 15 by 5 is 75. So we have 75 apples in total. So therefore, Friday, the fraction of Friday over the total will be 20 over 75, which is, and we reduce it 4 over 15. So therefore, the fraction of Friday over the total is 4 over 15. Right, we on the next question here. The bar graph shows the amount of money Jesse spent over 5 days. Right, so we have Jesse spending money over 5 days. On Monday, he spent 2. On Tuesday, we in between there, that's on Tuesday is 5. On Wednesday we have 9, and on Thursday, we have 7, and on Friday we have 4, right? On which day did Jesse spend 3.5 times the amount of money spent on Monday? Right? So we need to find 3.5 times Monday. How much is Monday? Let's look at Monday. Monday is 2. So we need to find 3.5 times Monday. Times means to multiply. And I change my mixed number to improper fraction. So we have 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. 6 add 1 is 7. So we have 7 over 2 multiplied by 2, which we cancel. We get 7. So that's 7. 7 is the answer. 3.5 times 2 is equal to 7. So you're going to write what day is 7, and when we go and we look, we find that Thursday is representative of 7. So on which day did Jesse spend 3.5 times the amount of money spent on Monday? Thursday, which is 7. Okay, so the answer is Thursday. Next question. Calculate the average amount of money Jesse spent over the 5 day. Here we meet average again. Remember, average, total, over the number of data sets. So we have, it's a 5 day period. So on Monday was 2, Tuesday was 3, Wednesday was 9, Thursday was 7, Friday was 4. So in total, how much money was spent? $25. And how many days was that? 5 days. So we have 25 divided by 5, which is 5. So the average is $5. Don't forget your dollar sign. It's money. Don't forget your dollar sign. Next question. The incomplete bar graph below represents the number of vehicles which pass a particular checkpoint over a 1 week period, right? So we have an incomplete bar graph again. So we have number of vehicles on the vertical column, and on the horizontal column we have types of vehicles. So we have cars, which is 60, truck is blank, we have van, which is 50, and we have motorbikes, which is 95. Okay, so let's look at the question. 1/4 of the total of vehicles are cars. Complete the bar graph to represent the number of trucks which pass the checkpoint over the week, right? So cars are equal to 1/4 of the total. And if you look at the bar graph, cars, if you read off the bar graph, cars is 60. So to find the total, we take 60 divided by a quarter, which is 60, and to divide fractions, we flip the second fraction, so it's 60 multiplied by 4. Or to find the total, we say 60 multiplied by the reciprocal. So we get 240. So now we know our total, which is 240, and we are trying to work out for trucks, right? We're trying to work out for trucks. So we add up what we have so far. We have cars, which is 60, van is 50, motorcycles is 95. That's a total of 205, and the missing puzzle is trucks, which we have to work out. So trucks will be 240 minus 240, which is the total vehicles, minus the 205, which will give us 35. So trucks is 35. Okay. Next question. I like these types of questions here. Right, and be very careful with these types of questions. The mean of 4 numbers is 72. If the number 12 is added, what will be the new mean? So they're telling me that this time I don't have to work out mean, right? They gave me the mean. They said the mean of 4 numbers is 72. And then they added a new number, 12. What is the new mean? So before we could find the new mean, we need to find the total. If you're telling me that the mean is 72 for 4 numbers, I find the total. So I take total is equal to mean multiplied by the number of items. So it's 72 multiplied by 4. When I work it out, I get 288. So my total is 288 for those 4 numbers. Now I added on a new number, which is 12. So it's 288 add 12. So my new total is 300. Also to know that my new total is 300, but that is a total of for what? 5 numbers. So I have 5 numbers now. So to find the new mean, it will be 300 divided by 5, which will give you 60. Okay. Next question. The incomplete bar graph shows the number of cars sold over a 5-week period. So here we have the bar graph. What is missing is Friday. Right? So we know that, okay, so look here. If 90 cars were sold that week, complete the bar graph for Friday. Right? So in total for that whole week, Monday to Friday, 90 cars were sold. We need to find the total from Monday to Thursday. So look at your data. Monday is 24. Tuesday is 18, and I want you to pay attention to this, because if you look at the bar graph, we went from 0 to 4, then 4 to 8. So in between here, from 0 to 4, right, which just means this block here is 4. This block here is 4, right? Half of 4 is 2, so that means in between is not 1, which we are accustomed to seeing 1, but in between here is 2, because from 0 to 4, this block here will be representative. This block here is 4. right? This block here is 4, and half of 4, the middle, the half of the block will be 2. So therefore, we are counting in between is 2. So we counted in groups of 2. So here 16 add 2 is 18. So therefore Tuesday is 18, right? Wednesday 16 and Thursday is 20, and we add up that, and 90 take away the sum of the 24, 18, 16 and 20. We got, and we minus, and we got 12. So therefore Friday is 12, right? Calculate the question now. Calculate the mean part A. They didn't put the parts here. All right, that was part, right. Complete the back. So that was part A, sorry. That was part A, now we're on part B. Calculate the mean, so we're able to fill the bar graph. Let me just fill the bar graph for you here. We worked it out and we got 12, right? Good? Right, please do it neatly, right? Next question, part B. Calculate the mean number of cars sold for that week. Right, mean again. We're meeting mean again in statistics. Mean is what? Total divided by the number of data sets. So they want to find the mean number of cars. So we have the total already. We don't have to work out the total because they give it to us. They say 90 cars were sold that week. So we have the total already. We have 90, and they want to find it for the week. So it's over a 5-day period. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So for the 5 days, so 90 divided by 5, 18. Easy, man. Right? Next question, part C. Which day represents 20% of the total cars sold for the week? Right? So we need to find a day that is representative, that is 20% of the total cars. Right? So 20% is 20 over 100. The total cars were what? Of means to multiply. And the total cars were 90. So when I find 20% of 90, I got 18 cars. So I'm going back to my bar graph. I'm going back to my data. And I say, which one was 18? 18 was for Tuesday. Okay? So the answer would be Tuesday. Right? Next question. Again, an incomplete graph. The incomplete graph below shows the amount of money Errol saved each day during a particular 5-day school week. His allowance is $20 per day. Right. Look at your bar graph. Read your information on each scale, on each axis. Amount of money in dollars, and we have the days. So Monday he's saving $6. Tuesday he's saving $5. Wednesday he's saving $10. Thursday he's saving $4. And Friday we do know it's an incomplete bar graph. So from Monday to Thursday, how much money was saved in total? 6 plus 5 plus 10 plus 4, which is 25. And the total amount of money, right, part A. Errol saved $35 that week. Complete the graph to show how much money he saved on Friday. So remember, we did Monday to Thursday. In total, he saved how many? $25. And I'm going to put in my dollar sign there. Right? And, right. So, from Monday to Thursday, he saved $25. And in total, from Monday to Friday, is $35. So to find for Friday, we take 35 minus from 25 to $10. So therefore, my answer is $10. So therefore, for Friday, he saved $10. I'm drawing my bar graph there for Friday, which is $10, right? Part B. Errol wants to save $60 next week. What percentage of his daily allowance should he save daily, right? He wants to